Hello and welcome to a vintage edition of Tech Tuesday. You've lost your streak, mate. You're never coming back after that, but don't worry, I am back, and I'm here with a vintage episode of Tech Tuesday, where today we're going to be looking at this. It's the Olympus Trip 35mm film camera from Olympus. Is it any good over 50 years since its initial release? Well, we shall be having a think about that. Now, this particular model of Olympus point and shoots was produced from 1967 to 1984. That's quite a long production run by any means. I mean, when you compare it to the other 35mm film camera that I've got, the Canon 500N, it was only made for 3 years, so quite a difference between the two cameras. So it was originally aimed at the holiday market, which is why it's called the Trip 35. But it's a looker, isn't it? It's a classic image. It's a design classic. It's got the lovely clicky focus ring and an even clickier still aperture ring. I mean, just listen to that. Just listen to that. You thought you'd sat down for a technology video, but no, you've actually tuned into ASMR.
Hello and welcome to Red Cassette ASMR, where today we're going to be listening to the sounds and other things of an Olympus Trip 35.
So anyway, that was a bit weird, sorry. But yeah, it is. It's fitted with one lens. You can't change it. It's a 40mm f2.8 lens. It's quite standard. If you want to know what f40 looks like, well, it sort of looks like this. It's quite a tight lens. I'll just take it back to f28. By the way, I am trialling a new lens on here. It's about 20 years old, so it might not be the crispest thing, but we don't know yet. Now, it can do any film from ISO 25, but then I've never seen an ISO 25 film anywhere ever. I mean, I don't even think DSLRs can go down to that. I mean, what? But it can also go all the way up to 200. But if it's a model made after 1978, it can go all the way up to ISO 400, or ASA as they call it on this. Don't ask. But anyway, yeah, you set that, and then because it's a fully automatic camera. Yes, it's a fully automatic camera, and it's 50 years old. Well, the design is 50 years old. It can set the aperture and shutter speed. There's two shutter speeds on this, and an aperture of 2.8 up to f22, which I think is only really for use with flashes, which this can have. It's got a hot shoe, and then it's got the plug. I don't know what the plug's called, but there's an old-fashioned plug. I use a Starblaze flash that my granddad lent me from the 70s. That usually works quite well with this without the wire going into that hole. So yeah, you don't want it in automatic when you're using a flash, because it'll just think, oh, it's very dark in here, and then all of a sudden, oh, light! Now I am blinded. You get the idea. But yeah, it uses a selenium solar cell to power it. It's got no batteries. It's actually a really simple device. All it's got is a spindle handle, which comes in and out, and a shutter button and a winder, and a button underneath to eject the film, and of course the thing that pops the back open. It's very, very simple device. Another thing that I do like about it, when you look through the viewfinder, there's a little window so you can see what settings you have the bloody motorbike, the focus and the aperture on. So that's quite a nice touch. I always thought, obviously I can't demonstrate that to you today on the big camera because you can't see down the yeah, it doesn't really work. Been using this lomography colour negative films ISO 400. I'll show you some images that I've got from this film now. As you can see, it's not the crispest of things, because I've got a feeling that it just won't go to infinity. The lens, I think there's something wrong with its optics slightly. I mean, I can't see anything wrong with it, but I think there is that, and it struggles with contrast. If there's a high contrast scene, it struggles, but then again, it's going to, because it's film and it's 1967 technology. It's going to struggle a lot, and it's not a DSLR, it's a point and shoot. I only own this one that I use. I own other point and shoots, but I rarely use them because they're not very good. The thing is, though, this is a heavy device. I don't know why they marketed it as well. Then again, they didn't really have any other. It's a market for this camera. DSLRs of the time, not DSLRs, SLRs of the time were very heavy as well, but this weighs an absolute ton compared to my Canon 500N. It's an absolute nightmare to lug around because it has no weight. The strap obviously fell off this one, but I do have a case for it, and this just shows how old it is. The case, it was obviously leather once upon a time, but it's seen better days, unfortunately, and has perished, let's just say. Yeah. Now we'll have a look at some of the images that I took with this Kodak Colour Plus film that I took in sort of winter, so it was the wrong time of year really to take it. So yeah, as you can see, they're a bit dark, but then again, chose the wrong time of year. Some of them all came out really well, and I think this is the film that I'll probably end up using with my new SLR, which I'll make a video about later. Because this lomography film, I don't reckon much to it. It seemed a bit cheap and it's a bit rubbish. I just saw it for three rolls of 36 for 14 quid in Boots. I thought, may as well give it a go. It's easier than waiting ages for a 3 quid roll to come from eBay, or I might use Exeter. I don't know. If you've got any idea what film I should use, please put it in the comments, because, you know, I need it. Apart from that, I think I shall leave you.
I'm leaving you, you cow!
In a bit.